Hello and welcome. What the UK media didn't tell you. That's the theme for this very short video, looking at the Good Newspaper for May. We're reviewing two stories today and really want to just make you think about the things you might be missing if you're only seeing one side of the media. Mark, over to you.
Thank you, Colin. You know, we all suffer loss, and loss can bring upheaval, emotional distress, and we look for strong, secure foundations. And there's an article in this month's edition of the Good Newspaper which I really, really love and I commend to you. It's called Finding Hope. And in this article, one thing that excites me about the article is it says that hope is a person. Now, often in the media and just in our friendship circle, other things are pointed to as the source of hope and strength to get us through tough times. And often you hear it's just time, it's medication and drugs, friends, family, and sure, those things are elements. But if you want lasting hope, ultimately, that hope is a person, and that person is Jesus Christ. It's in trusting in Jesus that all the promises of God are yes and amen, and they are good promises. God is for you. Nothing can separate us from God's love. It's one of those promises that becomes true when we trust Jesus. And we find that it's not just life where we are clinging on by our fingernails, but it's this eternal, abundant life that is promised by God in Jesus. We often don't hear that side of life promised to us in the media. So I commend to you this article in this month's edition of the Good News newspaper to get another perspective on a better, more lasting source of hope. Colin.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, the front page story of the Good Newspaper this month, headline is Miracle at Sea. And it's a story that talks about God being involved in this whole episode. But the media did not report that at all. It's really, they just ignored this side of it. So let me tell you the story. So there's an Australian family that swept out to sea. Basically, they've gone on holiday and they had a kayak, rented a kayak and some paddle boats, and they've gone on this holiday. But the weather changed and they were swept out to sea. And the mother had to make a difficult decision, and she decided to send her son for help. And he had to swim 4 kilometers, and then he had to run 2 kilometers to find a phone. And the experts said that this boy, his name was Austin, it was an incredible feat of endurance. And exceeded what is considered to be normal. And yet the Guardian tried to write off any suggestion of supernatural intervention, claiming instead that it was a saltwater survival backstroke or mind over matter. And yet the boy himself says he prayed and he credited God as the one who helped him. And it was a miracle, he said, that his mother and his siblings were saved. They were rescued. And it's so interesting how the media would present one side of life. Because, God is a big, big part. If he's there, he's a big part of life. And if the media only presents one part, imagine what you're missing. So I would commend to you, look for other forms of information, like the Good Newspaper here, to hear the other side, hear about how God is involved in people's lives, how he changes people's lives, how he could change yours, how he could give you hope, as Mark has already said. Mark, over to you.
Yes, we do commend this month's edition of the Good Newspaper. God really is for you. It's just hard to discover that truth from the media or listening to friends and conversations. But in the Good Newspaper, in the Bible, we find real hope, real rescue, real salvation. We find truth that will get us through the good times and the difficult times. Get this month's edition. Give it a read. Give it some thought. God bless.